Welcome back to Venture Vibes. Today we're exploring a theme that continues to sparkle in 2025, what Americans say about Malaysian hospitality. We'll weave in verified facts, tourism updates, cultural stories, and personal voices from Americans who've fallen for Malaysia, no filler, just the authentic stuff. American travelers consistently emphasize one thing above all: Malaysian hospitality feels genuinely warm and welcoming. Across interviews and personal vlogs in 2025, Americans repeatedly describe feeling seen, appreciated, and cared for by strangers. Whether it's someone helping them find a bus stop, walking them under an umbrella in the rain, or just casually offering food with a smile, the kindness feels instinctive. One common experience that Americans mention is being greeted with, "Hello, have you eaten yet?" It's more than small talk, it's part of the culture. In Malay, the phrase, "Sudah makan," or "Sik bao mei," in Chinese communities is used as a friendly gesture that touches Americans deeply. It's not just about food. It's about care. One visitor from California said, "When a stranger asks me if I've eaten, I feel like I'm with family, not in a foreign country." From the hawker stalls of Penang to the high-rise cafes of Kuala Lumpur, Americans say that Malaysians have a unique ability to make anyone feel at home. That sentiment isn't new, but in 2025, it seems to be spreading wider, louder, and more sincerely than ever. In early 2025, Malaysia welcomed more than 16.9 million visitors between January and May, a 20% increase from the same period last year. Among these were thousands of Americans, many choosing Malaysia over other Southeast Asian destinations not just for affordability or beaches, but because of how they were treated. Hospitality here isn't a transaction. Americans say it's emotional. They describe being invited into homes for dinner by people they'd just met, being offered rides to temples, and even receiving small souvenirs from strangers on the street. "I came here for 3 weeks. I'm staying for 6 months," one American said. "The people didn't just welcome me. They made me feel like I belonged." What makes this hospitality even more impressive, Americans note, is that it exists across different cultural backgrounds. In one street, you'll find Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous cultures living together. And yet, there's a unifying value: treat your guest with heart. Americans say this multicultural spirit enhances hospitality. One traveler from Texas said, "I was offered Indian curry, Malay ghee, and Chinese herbal tea by the same family." It's not just people. The service industry is catching up too. In the latest 2025 rankings by Trip.com, Malaysian hotels and restaurants appeared prominently in Trip Best Global lists. These include mentions of KL's luxury hotels like the newly opened Park Hyatt and Eco Lodges in Borneo and Langkawi that Americans describe as soul-soothing. One reviewer wrote, "We arrived tired and hungry. The front desk didn't just check us in, they sat us down, brought tea, and told us where to eat like locals. No script. Just kindness." That kind of organic warmth is hard to script, and even harder to forget. However, it's not all smooth. Despite a boom in tourist arrivals, the hotel sector saw flat occupancy in Q1 2025. Many American tourists opted for short-term rentals, Airbnb stays, or rural kampung homes over big chains. The Malaysian Association of Hotels noted that while Americans love boutique hospitality, the traditional hotel industry is struggling to adapt. This gap is pushing the country to reassess what hospitality means. Events like MAH Hospitality Week 2025 are now focusing on making hospitality more people-focused again. The conversations aren't just about service quality, they're about culture, identity, and how to keep hospitality genuine in a rapidly modernizing society. American travelers also love the little details. Like the way a stranger might offer you a place in line, or how locals ask about your parents and not just your plans. "It's old-school kindness," said a backpacker from Oregon. And we're starving for that in the West. It's not limited to cities. In Sabah and Sarawak, Americans recount staying with indigenous families who opened their homes, shared stories by firelight, and even gifted handmade crafts. These experiences have made Malaysia one of the top destinations on American bucket lists for 2025. And now, with the Visit Malaysia 2026 campaign underway, the government is doubling down on these efforts. They're planning to highlight not just nature and food, but people. According to official statements, the next tourism wave will focus on hospitality from the heart, and Americans are already spreading the word. One traveler posted, if you want to remember what being human feels like, go to Malaysia. That quote alone has been shared thousands of times in travel forums. There's a growing sense among Americans that Malaysia isn't just a great vacation, it's a reflection of the kind of warmth the world needs. People here look you in the eye. They laugh freely. They help because it's who they are, said a teacher from Florida who volunteered in Malacca. That's not common where I'm from. While the travel boom continues, sustainability is now a key concern. Some American tourists express hopes that Malaysia won't lose its personal touch in the rush to modernize. With over-tourism threatening some Asian countries, Malaysia's government and local hosts are trying to protect local culture and community spaces from being overrun by commercial tourism. In response, many rural communities are turning to slow travel and ecotourism, two trends Americans increasingly support. The blend of natural beauty and sincere hospitality is making these spots some of the most loved among solo travelers, couples, and even digital nomads. For Americans, Malaysian hospitality is more than just comfort, it's emotional connection. It's the moment a grandmother insists you try her sambal, the uncle who insists on showing you his village, or the child who runs up with a flower just because you smiled. As the world rushes toward digital everything, Malaysia still knows how to connect soul to soul. And that's something Americans are not just noticing, they're celebrating. If you've experienced Malaysian hospitality firsthand as an American, or even as a visitor from elsewhere, let us hear your story in the comments. Hit subscribe for more cultural deep dives from Venture Vibes. Until next time, selamat datang to Malaysia, from the heart.